Hey guys, this is Al. It's Monday the 9th of February. Happy New Year. It's been a while since I posted. I've been busy traveling and dealing with other stuff that's unrelated to cars. Anyway, I have been coming back to the shop every so often and doing a little bit of work. Most recently I was moving some of the cars around and this fellow wouldn't start, so wasn't sure exactly what the problem was, but I suspected it may be like a fueling issue. And then one day I noticed that there was a great big puddle underneath the car, so got underneath it and I pulled this thing out. You can kind of see, I don't even, maybe, I don't know whether you can tell, but you can actually see through this. And I saw that this hose was completely perished. And I don't know whether you can see, but I can actually see through the fibers. So effectively, the contents of this rubber hose are somewhere in the fuel pump. Luckily, it's only a half-inch hose, so I was able to just run down to O'Reilly's and pick up another hose, another fuel hose. So that's handy, and I was able to put it back together again. But it would run for a while, and it would blow the fuse for the fuel pump. I did get underneath it while the car was running. I replaced the fuse, and I can put my hands on one of the fuel pumps, the one that was feeding from the fuel tank, and it doesn't seem to be running. So today I'm going to pull that pump out, and luckily I do have a replacement pump. This guy came from when I was tinkering with that Brooklands over there. I was trying different fuel pumps when I was thinking that there was a problem with the fuel pump. So I think this will work. I'm going to get underneath it and pull the old one out, and then when I get the old one out, maybe I'll take it out and try to blow it out and see if I can get it running again. And I'll also try to make sure that the forward pump is clean as well, because the last thing you want to do is deal with crap in the fuel system, especially on this car, particularly because it is a CIS injected car, but really any of these. So let me get underneath here and I'll pull the old pump out and see what's going on. Alright guys, so I took the pump off. I did test it with a 12 volt source, and sure enough it's seized. It doesn't want to move. So I think I might be able to save these pumps, because I did try that before on a couple of other pumps and it worked. So I'm going to stick it in the ultrasonic cleaner and see if I can revive it, just basically go backwards and forwards and see if I can get it cleaned up. But in any case, the pump number, just for reference, is 0580254918. So that's the pump number that I have on this pump. This is the pump that I took off the Brooklands, and it's the same part number. So oddly enough, the Brooklands and the Turbo R use the same fuel pumps, but the Turbo R uses two of them. Brooklands only uses one. So I do have a spare original pump, and I also have this pump, which is supposed to be an alternative. The part number interchanges. So what I'm going to do is, I've already swapped out the ends, because this end is unique to it. The thread pitch on this end is unique to a Bentley. So or Rolls-Royce Bentley products. So you've got to swap those ends out. And this is something that you need to keep in mind if you're swapping out pumps. There's a bunch of new Bosch skinny pumps. They have a different motor inside them. They are said to be interchangeable, but they're not. And the reason that they're not is because the thread pitch on this deal over here, right, is different on the pump. So you can't thread this in. So it's no good to anyone unless you find another fitting with a different thread pitch or you buy an adapter. So just get the fat body fuel pump. There's a company called Cytec, I believe, that makes them. You can buy them, pretty inexpensively. So just again, just to recap, 2 pumps on the CIS injected Turbo Rs or the Continental R, whatever, anything up to 1993, or on the Brooklyns with the light pressure turbo, which is the 97-98 model year Brooklyns with the light pressure turbo, except you only need 1 pump. So let me get underneath there, swap the pumps out, and see what I can gather. It was a real beast to get this thing out. Whoever tightened the dampener on made it really hard. So I've got the dampener now soaking in carburetor cleaner, so it's just basically just to clean it up, and then I'm just going to spray it down with carb clean and put it back on. So there we go. All right, guys, the pump's on, and I replaced the fuse. It's a little 20 amp fuse. The fuses on the Continental R, for the fuel pump, it's not a relay, it's a fuse. It's A4, and that's the one that kept on blowing. So we're going to try to run it and see what happens. Hopefully it will run. Now, it used to run for about maybe, I don't know, like 5 minutes and then crash out. So I'm going to keep it running for about, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes. If it's good, then I'll take it back off the ramps. I believe I use ramps. I have three lifts in this building, and I end up using ramps. But I'll take it off the ramps and drive it outside and fill it up with gas, and hopefully everything will be good in the world. Alright, that's a good sign. I have the fuel pumps. Okay, so it's running. I don't see any leaks. I'm going to leave it running for, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes. And if it's all good, then I'll pull it out and take it to the gas station, fill it up with gas so that it's got fresh gas going through it. Alright guys, so everything seems to be okay. I put some fresh gas in it, and it runs fine. It's not leaking any fluid. There was a little bit of a problem where I noticed where when I unscrewed the gas cap, it vented a little bit, so the vent lines may be blocked, which happens when a car's been sitting for a while, because insects like to build nests in the vents. So I'll get that taken care of. I've got to make some changes as far as all these cars go, because I feel like every time I walk in here I have to change a fuel pump or do something else like that. And these cars, they're braking because they're sitting. They're not being driven. And there are some of these cars, like this one, that I really like driving. But there's some other cars that I've been working on for years that I don't think I'll ever get to. So, and then there's some that I'm just not in love with as much. So I think I'm going to start selling some cars off. I'm going to sell the 6.3 because I've always been in love with the the notion of a 6.3. I think it's a very special car, but it's a lot of work, and I just don't have that same kind of enthusiasm that I had when I first bought that car when I was in my 30s. I'm in my 50s now. And so I'd rather let that go. You know, I have a green 3.5, 300 SEL 3.5 that I feel like I can make much quicker progress on. Condition-wise, it's probably not in as good a shape as that 6.3, but it's easier to work on by an order of magnitude, which means you can make progress faster. So I think I'll sell that one. I have another black 3.5 that has hail damage. It's kind of a neat car, black with Palomino interior. It's got a ref counter, which is super rare for those 109 cars. But again, it needs a lot of work, and I think I'll probably let it go, let somebody else, an enthusiast, take over it. And I'll sell the 928 and the XJ12. You know, I love the XJ. It's an XJ40 body style XJ12. You know, nice car, belonged to a friend of mine. It's got a stack of servo circles, but you know, I haven't driven it in a couple of years. The alternator went out. I have a replacement alternator. Never got around to doing it because there's always stuff in the shop that needs to be taken care of. So I'll throw an alternator on it and then throw it up for sale. And the 928, I'm just tired of it. You know, it never excited me that much. I feel like the 107s and the 129s kind of filled that role pretty well. So I'll probably let that go. And what that'll do is it'll open up some space in the shop and allowing me to, you know, get some more work done and maybe dismantle some of these cars like that blue Azure that has the fire damage, or the shadows, or some of the other cars. I can turn into parts and make them disappear. So that's where I am. I'm just I've got to make some changes because I don't get enough time on these cars. I don't spend enough time driving them, and they just go bad over a period of time. So I've got to take care of that. But that's it pretty much. You know, everything's fine for now on this car. The brakes seem like they're a little bit grabby, so I might just bleed the system just for good measure, see what goes on. But I plan on driving this car a little bit more than I have been, just because I feel like I'm not doing it a service by leaving it sitting. Anyway, that's it. Thanks very much. Take care.